I started going on YouTube Live too.
That's what I got on there. YouTube.
See, I got the Dr. Cross before done the first evaluation.
You know,
And then got
before
it.
we get into here,
I'm sorry.
but we don't do that.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. And we, wait a minute, is it going? Okay. We are back. Welcome to the Mysteries of Sex with your girl, Love My Yacht, and the one and only Lexie the Hair Diva. I know y'all miss my girl.
I missed you guys. I really did.
Lexie, you've been playing. You just been
I just been
traveling
busy.
so much, all these fashions, all these hair shows.
Busy. To God be the glory.
Yes, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you. You are really
Thank you
doing
so
the thing. And thank you for my beautiful hair.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome anytime.
Okay, y'all. We at that time that y'all been waiting for. The one and only, the real deal Holyfield. Miss Sophia, the real Cookie Lion. Woo! Miss Sophia, you got so much. You are so beautiful. First of all, I have to say, you are so. I wish y'all could see her shoes. Oh my goodness.
So sharp. Look, listen, my people are going to
I wish y'all could see her shoes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Her, look, let's just show everybody her shoes, right? When I say that this lady is awesome, like I gotta show her shirt. Look at this. Look at her shirt. Look at her. Can y'all see that? Oh, now she dressing. So now I can look at this lady and say, okay, now I see where Taraji got her dresser from. She did a good job imitating Miss Sophia.
Oh, yeah. Rita Miller studied me.
I could tell.
18 months.
She studied you for 18 months?
Daily. She talked to me daily on the phone a couple times a day. Everybody that would come in and out the car or around me, she wanted to speak to them.
Wow.
So she straight up lied when she told the people she saw me 2 times. I even went to L.A. and
Wait a
stayed in her house.
minute. What's her name?
Rita Miller. Rita
Rita
Miller, the
Miller.
script writer out there.
Okay.
Okay, so she studied you for 18 months
Yes.
to learn you so she could sell your story.
No, well, she was supposed to have been doing the script for me and Rip Appleton and his auntie, who had investors, Mrs. Montgomery,
Okay.
who runs a rehab out in California for celebrities.
Oh, wow.
She's real big in the NA. She's like 90 years old. You know, Rita was at the meetings with her. She'll testify to all of this. You know.
I see you came with a whole bunch of paperwork, too. So kind of tell us a little bit, how do you feel about the movie Empire? Did they portray you well?
I mean, fakely.
Vaguely?
I mean, fakely.
Fakely?
Yeah, fakely.
Fakely.
You know, they did good with some fake.
What would you change that would make it more realistic, more like actually what took place and what happened?
But, you know, they tend to take things, I say, from down to earth in show business where it doesn't hit home.
Right. Okay.
Sometimes, you know, everybody's excited about the coats, the cars, the money,
Right.
The gangster part.
Right.
But can you really relate to this
Right.
if you've been out there?
Right.
When you read my book, you can relate. If you know,
If
you don't take it over people's head.
Right.
They kind of took it over some of the people's head.
Right.
Okay.
Even though I live both worlds. You know,
When you
by
say
my-
that, what you mean both worlds?
by my baby daddy being a producer, he was a producer, so all the entertainers was in my life because he was the producer, but he was also the dope man.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I was a drug connect.
And that was Mr. Lion. That's the one they tried to have as Mr.
But
Lion.
they kind of took Lucius and made Lucius out of 3 of my men. My first man that took my virginity,
Okay.
the producer, because there's certain parts in there I know when I hear it. And then the one who everybody calls the Don, that they took the $2.8 billion off his jet, that's still in prison for money laundering. They gave him life for money laundering.
In real life?
In real life.
In real life.
And so they really kind of converted him into all 3 of them, but mainly, this is how Rita would be telling me how she saw me and how she was going to do it and how she was going to do the backdrops and where she was going to start and all the different little things that she just would get on real heavy and wanted to just spend a lot of time on. Really, it made me pay attention to. Those were the things she mainly used with Empire.
Yeah.
Like my uncle, a federal agent, was killed in his house. An undercover federal agent, he killed him. And,
Wait, who killed them?
My uncle did, the one who had jumped his $1 million bond. And I don't even know if I had put it in the book, but I remember tonight, that one night I was riding home from work and she was on the phone. And I brought that out. I said, look, you got to give me time to get in the jacuzzi and get out so I can at least take a bath so I can get ready to go to work again in the morning to jump in the tub again because I'd be tired. I wanted to jump in the tub and get in the bed. And then, because if you go to bed, you can get up.
Yes,
I had an uncle who used to always say you can't get up if you don't go to bed.
Yes.
So for those years, I was, no matter what, if it was 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night, I'd go home, jump in the jacuzzi and jump in the bed and go to sleep so I can jump back up at 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yes.
So she was just, she just kept calling back. I was like, Rita, gotta give me time to get out the tub. So I want to know more about the federal agent being killed.
So she was prying and prying so she could build this movie.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know, I don't believe at first she was intended to cross me because I can remember when she first brought it to me. She said to me that she first get to know me, and I was spending the night at her house. She was picking me up from the airport. She's an atheist too, by the way.
She's an atheist?
Yes.
Okay.
So when she first brought it to me, well, I don't believe in, I have my principles and morals. I don't believe in crossing people because I feel like karma gonna make it turn out bad.
Right.
So when she came to me, now Rick introduced me to her because she had wrote some movies for him.
Okay.
I took it back to him that she was trying to tell me about, but he said, hear what she got to say, because she knows some pretty heavy people, and she done did a lot of. So I listened to what she had, but I go back and tell Rick, and he tell me go on, listen, see what she's talking about. Well, when my brother was the one who was the head of the HDKs and the Herman Garden Killers, he was on his deathbed. He called and told me I had to get there. But she don't know I already done told Rick. Because I just don't believe in that, I ain't never seen nothing out of somebody crossing the person to bring you to the table. I don't care what.
Exactly.
Okay, and I don't believe in that.
Now, not to cut you, now this is Rick.
Rick Applin, the producer, that introduced me to her. It took me and my sister-in-law, that was my secretary, Leisha Connor, and Felix, best friend, Lester Harvey, to her house when we gave her the book when I was down there at 211. When he made me understand that I wasn't going to end up with nothing but 3%, and I told him I got a break. So when I went back to the hotel room, I put all kind of scriptures on the note, on the wall, on the mirror, and the Lord woke me up 2 or 3 times that night. And then when he told me 51% of all proceeds are no deal, the next morning when all of them got to the hotel and we started, I said, the Lord told me 51% of all proceeds are no deal. He told my sister-in-law, turn the car around, ain't no need of going, because if the Lord told her, she ain't going to do nothing else. They know how I feel about God. It's all I got.
Right, absolutely.
I've held on so many times in my life by the thread of my fingernail, and I still feel like I'm holding on and I'm strong, but it's only because of God's grip.
So wait, I got to back a little bit because they did offer you, what, $2 million?
No, back then, we went around the different studios. Everybody was saying this and saying that. 50 million it came up and different things. Well, when I came back from my answer from the Lord, which was 51% of all proceeds, everything else was out of the question because, you want to buy somebody's name, you want to buy them out with that. I can't do nothing else, they in charge. But I didn't see nobody in the penitentiary with me. I didn't see none of them people in the graveyard.
So you did do penitentiary time?
Yeah, I've done 2 prison bits and the 3rd prison.
Okay, wait. When you say prison bits, how much time was that?
Well, I did a murder bit, 48 months. I should have did for 10 months because the judge only gave me a 1 to 15. That was when I gave my life to the Lord. And I used to do 3-day water fasts, and I did everything the Lord showed me. My attorney didn't even visit me one time in the county. In the beginning, he told me that there was no way. This is the stupidest thing you ever did, Sophia. You shoot somebody in the head, broad daylight in front of 6 people. You shot the person in the head? That's what they said. But in the beginning, I didn't remember it for 16 months, and they were taking me backwards and forward to forensic, and they didn't give me any help. They was trying to say I was malingering. So as time went on, I ended up in front of Judge Crockett, and that was when I was asleep. As a matter of fact, I was on the bench. What's his name, Mr. Plummer show.
Yeah,
years
Mr. Plummer.
ago.
Yeah.
And even when I was in prison, I believe it was Mr. Ellis, Reverend Ellis, show with me when I was in prison. And the Lord began to speak to me. I began to learn his voice when I would do it. And I'll never forget the day that I was asleep and I heard his voice say, "Don't worry." And I woke up in the same voice that was speaking to me when I was asleep, said, "You will win the trial." But I got up and told everybody in the rock I was going to trial. Everybody said I was crazy. So when we got to court that day, they had it was so crazy, that particular time, they had a 10-year offer. But anything I do all the way. I'm going all the way, you know. And they even let my baby daddy, which was the producer, come back to the bullpen because Milton Henry was like, "You got to be absolutely star-raving crazy to turn down this 10-year sentence agreement when you got 6 witnesses seen." Well, I told him what the Lord told me. Well, anyway, after I walked away from the window and fell on my knees, let him know I'm going all the way with God. I don't care. Peace in that cell, something that I didn't have with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and drugs and the red carpet out. And I had come to a place in my life that even though it wasn't all right, it was all right because I had something and somebody that made it all right with me, even in that 8 by 10 cell, and I was facing life in prison for the rest of my life. So if he could do it, he took that knife out of my heart about my sister's murders. So the judge, I'll never forget when we got in front of the judge said to Mr. Henry, he said, "Reverend Henry, do your client understand that she's facing life in prison and she's refusing the 10-year agreement?" He said, "Your Honor," he said, "my client has informed me," he said, "that she is told, and the Lord has told her to go to trial." And he took that, the gavel, and he hit it. He said, "Well, I can't dispute with that. Her judge trial would be Judge Crockett." And my attorney literally turned around. He said, "The Lord is speaking to you because Crockett's family had suffered from a mental illness." And one doctor, Dr. Magical, has said that I was going through diminished capacity because of all the murders in my family and different things that had happened.
So in your family, you went through a lot of murder, a lot of people were killed and things of that nature?
My sisters was murdered 3 years apart.
Oh, wow.
When I was young, and they were murdered with their men. I found my second sister tied up and strangled to death.
Wow.
11 years later, I find out both murders were police connected. That's why. And I used to have a hatred for the Detroit police, but the Detroit police now is my bodyguards. So you see how God does things.
Yes, make you the head and not the tail.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
So he said he knew then that the Lord was telling me to do it.
Okay, so even though you know you have prayed and consolation, was there ever a time that you had to stop and say, "Now, Lord, now wait a minute, now you didn't continue to live like this"? Is there ever a time that you really fretted for your life, your well-being?
I probably should be at this point, but no, I have no fear.
Wait, you don't fear your life when they tried to kill you. They tried to institutionalize you.
They did institutionalize me, and
Okay,
they did.
tell us about that.
Take my
Tell
life.
us about the attempt of your life and institutionalizing you for false things.
Well,
And tell us who did that.
the only person I'm fighting is Lee Daniels and Pop. I mean, I don't, I've been good to all the guys in the street. I have no problem. All of them upset about it.
Okay.
Everybody's upset about it. Matter of fact, while I was in intensive care for 5 days, every time I woke up, it was different guys from the street. I'm like, "Mom, why you didn't call? How can I call somebody in a car pulling up on the side of me and I see the back window coming down and it's a barrel?"
So they actually shot at the car?
They didn't get a chance to.
Street smart, so you knew what to do.
Oh yeah, you gotta know what to do without thinking.
That's right.
That's
Know what to do without thinking.
when you are dealing with people such as they are, who think they're gods. Well, to make a long story short, that was December of 2015.
Okay.
And after I did 5 days in intensive care fighting for my life, I ended over in rehab for 4 days. My cousin got me out of there because I told her I had to get home. My best girlfriend, Sergeant Paula Taylor, who's now dead too, picked me up and got me home that night. the next morning she came back, but she left me with my other best girlfriend from 8 years old, and like a good family friend, and he was 89. They stayed there that night. You know, older people don't fear getting their pants just like they do. That's what they always told me. I guess that's why I feel like that. Well, the next morning, Sergeant Paula Taylor showed up to cook breakfast, and the doorbell rang, and she got the bell, and she said, Sophia, your lawyer's at the door. At that point, Mr. He was my litigation attorney. So she bring him upstairs to the bedroom. I got a cast on all the way up here. And he says, where have you been? I've been by here a couple times. I've been calling you. And I looked at him, I said, I've been in a hospital. Look, they done tried to kill me. He said, look, was ready to make a deal. They admitted that it was your story and that they didn't know it when Lee Daniels brought it to them. I said, well, I want you to file a motion and tell Judge Bird what happened to me. He said, I don't want to do that. I want to go for the deal. If you're going to do that, I'm going to step down. Well, at this point, I'm got a cast up to here. I don't know if I'm going to keep my leg because this bone here was totally crushed, Dr. Kissel say to him. The Lord even had a doctor on the freeway that tied my leg back up. But this bone right here was totally crushed. He said he couldn't put a screw, stitched it back up. He said he'd never seen a fracture this bad that he didn't have to amputate. He said, but he had took the bone completely out right here. This is out. And he said, a voice came to him and said, just lay it back in your leg. He said, that never happened to me. So he was looking at the x-ray this particular day about a month or two later. He said, look at it, it's healing. He said, it wouldn't hold a nut or a screw. He said, something is with you, Mrs. Eggleston. I say, that's Jesus, Dr. Kilson. He said, I'm talking about something divine. I said, it's Jesus, He said, a voice spoke to him and told him to lay the bone back in my leg. And you know I'm standing on TV, so you know I got to be telling the truth. Well, anyway, Mr. He never came back with nothing about a deal. Okay. Well, about 6 months later, Nancy Gray was contacted
the news anchor, Nancy.
Right, she wanted me to do a show. So Sergeant Taylor, you know, she never let me go nowhere by myself, even to my lawyer's office, because of the games people tried to play. And me and her both prayed, and at the same time, my lawyer was calling me and telling me, now he had just did some live interviews the week before, but he told me it was against counsel advice. He didn't want me to go. I said, well, I'm going to pray because God is my counsel. So I prayed, Paula prayed. Well, we both heard from the Lord around the same time. God said go. So Paula picks me up in Leicester and we go, you know. Well, anyway, when they arrest me, the judge